A cafe conversation. A cafe conversation. It's a cafe conversation in the ladies' room. 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 A cafe conversation in the ladies' room.
Good evening, and hello, welcome to Cafe Conversationalist with the ladies' room. I am your host, Sharice, and my co-host, Samantha, and our guest host. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Kim.
All right, I was expecting you to give some, grand.
Just Kim.
Yes, we have Kim back with us. It's been a minute since she's been with us.
Yes.
And we're waiting for one more of our ladies to show up and meet us here at the cafe. She's on her way. She's running a little bit late, but we're going to wish her safe travels and everything. But we're so happy to see you guys. We're glad you're here. We're happy that today is not a rainy day because
Yes. Amen.
last week's show was the day after and it was a hot mess. And we're going to talk about that today.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that hot mess today because I don't know.
Tore up a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
tore up a lot of people, a lot of people's houses, their cars, and all kinds of stuff. And it was just sad. It was sad, but it was scary. It was really, really scary. But tonight we're going to talk about some current events.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the things that are going on in the news around the country and things that affect us. And ladies, we want to hear from you. Guys, we want to hear from you too. But ladies, we want to hear from you because one of our topics tonight involves decisions about your body.
Yes.
Decisions about your body. And should somebody else be able to make a decision about what you do with your body?
Absolutely.
Regardless of what they believe or don't believe, So, again, I'm glad you're here with us, and I don't know where we should start. Should we start with the real juicy stuff?
I think that we should just go for it.
Just go for it.
Go for it.
Okay.
Being that I'm juicy, we should start with juicy stuff.
Absolutely.
You want to start with the
I
juicy
think-
stuff
I
because
think
you
we
juicy.
should.
All right.
You know that.
Absolutely.
So
That's who I am. Right?
Exactly.
you want to pick the first topic?
No. I just want to start with whatever's
you
juicy.
just wanna start.
Whatever you call
Whatever
it
you
juicy.
call
All
right.
right.
Yeah,
Start with
that's
that.
what we're
All
going to
right.
start with.
Let's start with good, and then we lead up to juicy. Because when you wash the peach and all like that, it smells good and all like that. And then when you bite into it, it's
That's when-
juicy.
yes.
So
let's
we'll
do it.
start. We'll start with the good stuff. So, of course, welcome back to school, everybody. It's first week of school. I know out here in Pennsylvania, and the kids are like, "Yay!"
Parents
stuff.
are like, yay.
Yes. No, wait. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw it. This one lady put up a post, okay? And it was the first day of school, and the kids had on a uniform and their backpacks and everything. And she was on a blow-up raft
Yes,
in the
I
pool.
saw it. Oh, my God.
Oh,
And she was
my
drinking- oh, my
gosh.
God.
And they were standing near the pool. I thought I was going to die. It
Yes.
was the most hilarious thing. But the funny part
So
is
what
that-
was the point? She was relaxing while they left?
Yes,
Oh,
she
okay.
was
getting
like,
ready.
finally.
Yeah,
Finally.
just her
some-
time.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
but
the
she-
kids were just sitting there like,
I
so
can't believe
depressed.
this.
Yeah.
But it
how
was
many
like
was,
night and day. They were dressed to the T, long sleeve, they had on backpacks and full long
Yep.
pants, and she got on a bathing suit with a
Colada.
with
She had a
colada
colada in her hand.
It was the most hilarious thing. I said, but you know how many parents probably felt like that on the first day of school?
Yes.
Come on, don't lie, y'all. Y'all know y'all
Right.
did. Y'all know y'all did, okay? Because I know I did on the first day of school. I was like, whoa, I'm getting my hair done, my nails done. I'm going to get some eyebrows. I don't even do that, but I'm going to get that done. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't wait for the first day of school. And then I'd go home and watch all my children.
There you go.
Do y'all remember All My Children?
I
Back
loved
in the
it.
days, Erica, remember Erica?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She was my
the scandalous
favorite.
one. That's why I loved her.
Yes.
She
You
was
know,
always doing
her
something
and
scandalous.
that whole love triangle
Yes,
between her, Jack, and Travis.
Oh
Woo!
my God, forget
Girl.
about it.
You know,
Quite
But-
whorish. Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah, welcome. Yes, our friend has shown up. Welcome, Aisha. And stuff.
running late.
That's okay.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm
how are
Aisha.
you?
Good to meet you.
Oh, oh, yes. Oh,
Yes. Hi.
all right. You there? How was your drive over?
I almost got a speeding ticket.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's not good.
My apologies for coming late. But hello, everyone. How is everyone?
Well, yeah, well, you came in right on time because we're about to get into the juicy stuff.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Good topic.
Yes.
Hot topic tonight.
Yes.
We got
Definitely
a
a hot
couple hot
topic.
topics and stuff. So, topic number one, okay, we just want to talk about the flood.
Yeah.
So, I took a drive to New York City after. It was like 2 days after. And I watched it
I was
on
with
the
you.
news. Yeah.
I was there.
I watched it on the news. And it was nothing like seeing it in person. The cars still on the side of and we were driving through Queens coming back to the Poconos, and there were still cars covered in mud inside and out, still on the side of the road. How many trucks were stranded and stuff. And the thought that ran through my head was it was dry that day, but you could imagine the horror and the fear and the anger and everything that people was feeling trying to drive through that, having their kids in the car and the water is up to your windows and stuff like that. But what was even more sad was watching the news in New Jersey. There was one area in New Jersey.
They were completely flooded.
Yes.
Completely flooded.
Underwater.
Town, right?
Underwater. Just completely underwater.
That was, what was it, Lodi, New Jersey? Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lodi,
around that.
and there was one other area too, and they showed a video. The guy had a camera in his basement, and the wall broke through, and he had just gone up the stairs like 10 seconds before, and the camera caught the wall broke in, and all the water flooded into the house, and I was sitting there like I wouldn't even know what to do.
My sister wants to get life jackets in her house now.
That's not
But
a
she
bad
can't swim.
idea.
Bad
I'm-
idea.
She's upstate New York and nothing happened to her, but she's like, I think I need to invest in life jackets because I can't swim.
Or a blow up raft or something.
Well, let me tell you, ladies, I'm from Florida, right? Hurricane survivor. Then hurricane for 21 years. And what we did, right, we kind of got a little bit one step ahead of what we did was we made a survival kit. Every household had one. You may get a tucker, and you get all your most important documents. You put them in a waterproof. Everything should be waterproof. Candles, lights, and we made a survival kit for the kids with no electricity. When you're in the middle of an emergency and a disaster, there is no way you're going to be able to find all this stuff.
This is true.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is-
So
You can't even think.
You can't even think of what to grab first. When you're running and you're in the middle of such a disaster like that, roof, just coming off, sometimes that does happen. You don't know what to grab. So what my family did was each one of our households, we made a disaster kit, which was awesome. So we took all the birth certificates, marriage certificates, deed to the house, anything that was really, really important, make copies of them from the originals. Keep the originals, of course, in your regular file, but always have copies, birth certificates, driver's license. Those are the quickest things. God forbid you can't get in your car. The registration for your car so you can know where
That's
your
right.
car is
Exactly.
once this flood is over with.
Right.
So people have to start to kind of think outside of the box and okay, we've had a couple of rainstorms. We've had, Hurricane Irma came through and just visited us. But when I lived in Florida, it came through. I mean, when it came through, it came through. So we were able to get that disaster kit, and maybe that's something that everybody needs to start doing just to have as a safe haven. That if you got to get up and go, that this kit right here is the most important thing in the house, and everything
Absolutely.
else you can salvage, furniture and all of that stuff.
You can replace
but
later.
You can replace later, but that is the most important thing to have. We used to have things for the toys, backup batteries, little TVs if the car gets messed up, something to entertain the children. You know, board games, things that you know that in a minute you had to stay at a shelter because that's what ends up happening, or you have to evacuate. You have enough of your personal items because we're not going to be able to run in the house if it's flooded to get anything. That you can just grab that tote and go, and you guys are safe.
That's such a great idea for any disaster because, I mean, fires, hurricanes, you know, you name it, even theft, identity theft, right? What do you do when you lose your wallet? Everything's in there, right?
Yeah.
So just having copies of, you know, numbers, who you can call, your bank, and you know, credit card,
Passports, all of that
all
stuff.
of that information.
You
Yeah.
have to
Absolutely.
start living like things can happen to you.
In a minute.
Right.
In a
Because some
minute.
people think it can
And believe
happen.
it or not, I still have that. I still have that kit in my house. I still have it. I haven't updated it because I don't have half of the kids are not here anymore. But it's still good because I still have their personal stuff. So
Right,
things
just
have
in
happened
case.
in my life where they have gone through stuff.
Yeah.
My daughter had a fire twice. You know, she lost a lot of things. So it was a way. It was good that I kept that for them. So if God forbid they need those important documents, birth certificates, extra baptism certificates, you know, things like that when they were little, they still have it.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to put together an emergency kit. I have these idea. I do have some though. Do
What?
y'all remember the round light in the commercial? You put the battery in, you put it on the wall.
Yeah.
It sticks, yeah.
I got like 30 of
Do
those.
they work? Do
yeah,
they
yeah.
still work?
And-
They work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they still work. And I put them on the stairs when the lights go out.
Exactly.
When we start having
That's such a
brownouts,
good idea.
I get scared. Okay,
Lights go out
I get
a
scared.
lot
and all
here.
Like that. I got dogs and all like that, but they don't always tell me everything, you know. And I got one dog who will just invite everybody in and be like, "Come on over, mommy cooked. She got, you know, grandma got some food in there. She got some fresh fruit in there too. You know, she baked the cake. Yeah, I got
They tell it all.
right.
Yeah,
You know,
I have one of those
Polo
too.
just tell you to come on over and all like that. Raina, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff. But I actually put them on the stairs so that I can light up the stairs and in my room and my bathroom and all like that. That's why I have so many. But they really do work.
Yes, they do.
They really do work, you know. And I remember when I bought them, my kids laughed at me. They was like, "What do you need that for? You don't need that. We have candles." And I was like, because when that candle burn out,
And they do. And
you
they
know,
do.
I still got my lights. Press them on, press them on. You know, so but yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is, I'm gonna say, crucial that we do put together emergency kits.
Absolutely.
You know,
It's-
because natural disasters are happening more and more,
More than we think.
and
in years.
unexpectedly.
That's correct.
You know, it's like we're getting maybe 2 or 3 days warning, and we're not getting. You know, it's funny because the ones they say are really, really bad don't turn out to be so bad.
It's the little
And
ones.
yeah, and they said, "Oh, it's not going to be as bad as the last one." You be like, "Well, the last one wasn't that bad, so it's not going to be that bad." And then next thing you know, it's like you have this natural disaster going on, and you're totally unprepared. You know,
I'm confused about insurances that haven't changed their plans, and
Yes.
the government with their
With state
infrastructure
Pennsylvania.
money that they're not taking care of stuff because New York was hit hard.
yes.
And my husband works for transit, and the subway system was shut down in many places.
Now-
Oh, yeah.
The water-
Flooded.
Work,
No, they
They-
don't put you out of work. You come and you work and you help and you clean and
Okay.
you get them trains moving because the city can't function without them.
without them.
So they were there. Some of them did nothing. You know, sat there until the people who were cleaned up and got stuff running, and then the trains went back.
But they still
slowly.
had to
But
go,
they
yeah.
still had to go. But the infrastructure, because the train system's so old, it's
Weakened.
weak and it broke. And there's money to fix it,
I was
but
trying.
they're saying no.
I
you
didn't.
know?
I didn't want to rock the boat by mentioning what the government is doing for us, but there's a gentleman I follow on Instagram. His name is Gary Chambers Jr. He's an advocate. You know, he's an activist, and he posted something that makes you stop and think about it. I'm going to read his quote. He said, "Hurricane Ida is proof that we have to do something about climate change and infrastructure in America. Louisiana ranks number 50 in the nation. So ask yourself, if you lived in the worst ranked state, how you think recovery is going for the average person. Slow, hot, and frustrating. Many who stayed couldn't afford to leave, but many still don't believe we need to increase the minimum wage. It costs us more to pay for social services because we won't just pay a livable wage in this country. These things matter in more ways than one, and this storm hurt the poor the worst. Poor black folks and poor white folks will suffer in the heat because they lack resources personally, and many of our communities lack good leadership. These are the times it's clear who we elect. But he goes into, but it's so important for us to have this conversation because, like you said, Samantha, more and more we're going to see this. I mean, whether you believe in global warming or not, it's happening.
It's definitely happening.
It's happening. I mean, like, really, if you think about, like, if we leave this earth to our children, what are we leaving them, right? I mean, I think it's almost like beyond repair, but still, we could still, take measures to improve. But then going back to our government, like, what are we putting in place for us, for our common folk, right? To make sure when we saw those cars as we were driving in New York City, it's very sad to see that this is happening and there really isn't a plan.
The funny part is most people don't have flood insurance.
That's correct.
You know,
You
'Cause
can't
we're in
get flood insurance in certain areas.
Yeah.
yeah.
areas.
And I think here is one of them, unless you live near the
water.
the Delaware River
Water.
and stuff like that. But okay, so where I live on the top of the hill, so I don't get a lot of water. But the people who live down at
Under
the
you.
bottom of the hill get flooded out all the time. And half of them don't have flood insurance
Right.
because of the area we're in. It's not a flood zone. And that's crazy. So I'm like, so what are you doing now? You're taking pictures and sending them to the insurance company, and the insurance company is saying to you, well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but
You're not covered.
you need I think you need more than 2 cups, so you can
Yeah.
start chucking water out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's sad. It's sad because we're living in a time where our resources, that not for nothing, we pay car insurance, we pay house insurance, we pay all of these insurances to cover us. And when these disasters happen, unfortunately, they're not there to help.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
But
And
you're
they
putting
make sure they
millions of
stipulate
dollars.
we don't cover that.
That's correct.
Yep.
So now that we're in a natural disaster with the climate change and everything,
But who's talking about that, right?
no, they
It's
don't.
like
that's not even a clue to them. They
Nobody's
haven't got no
even
clue
mentioning the fact.
that
No,
I
they're
heard one
in this.
person on the news say she redid her floors.
The
disaster came.
And what did
And
the
she
insurance say?
they
I
said-
saw it too.
Yeah, that
No, we can't
we
help
don't
you.
cover your floors because
Yeah.
that's a natural disaster. We don't
Yeah.
cover that.
Acts of God.
Yeah.
Acts of God.
And what
that's
I
right.
don't
of
see
God.
also here in our community at all, like I said, I'm from Florida. When we're getting ready to hit one of the hurricanes, right? The governor and all the communities get together and they start calling us, right? So if you have a regular cell phone, a mobile phone, are you okay? Do you have elderly? They ask you these
checking in.
questions.
Yeah.
Just like the census, right? The census come, knock on my door. They want me to answer all these questions. Okay, I done answered the questions. So why is it that you guys are not aware that in, let's say, Pocono Farms of PCP, we have 90% Hispanic, 90% this, whatever. You should have those statistics, be able to give us what they call a rotary call, right? Rotary call, like the telemarketers, the guy that calls me every day to ask me about my
Car insurance.
and my warranty. Well, we should be getting a call saying, hello, Kim, you're getting ready to get hit with Ida. We need you to make sure that you're okay. Can you get to a point, right? Because
Right.
in Florida, right, we have counties. Same here, okay? So we got Orlando, we got Winter Park, we got Winter Springs, Castleberry. What the communities do is that they get together and they say, okay, if you're in Winter Park, we're going to put up this gas station right here. And if you need water, supplies, we're here waiting for you.
Nice.
Okay? Well, I don't see that here. And I have a problem with that because we're in the Four Corners in Tobyhanna, right? That's where I'm from. There should be a spot, one of those gas stations or supermarket or some place for a safe haven for us.
Yeah.
We do evacuations, where we going to go?
This
But
is true.
instead, the media talks about, everybody's going to the supermarket and taking up all the toilet paper and paper towels.
Right.
Everybody's
Instead
buying
of-
up all the water. That's what
Instead
they're
of
talking
supplying.
about. Instead of saying, we're going to supply this to you
Yeah.
at this location. Come here. We'll give it to you.
So when the hurricane normally hits in Florida, they let us settle out, right? The day of, they start calling you. this location is open. We're gonna be opening up the cars because you come in your car if you got a car at that time. Because sometimes
Right.
people don't even
The
have
flooding,
cars
yeah.
after the hurricane.
Yeah.
Drive through. We're gonna supply you with water, blankets, this, that, and the third. Kids, whatever. They have everything ready. We don't have that here. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are up north. I don't understand why we
Right.
don't have those resources.
Because
Well-
we
Yeah.
have bad snow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe not bad rain, but
But
bad
we
But
got
snow.
bad
that's
snow.
snow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of elderly that can't get to the supermarket, or they can't get groceries, or they can't even get a bag of salt.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes crazy.
Exactly.
You know, let's get the salt. Let's
Or they
clean them
can't get out.
Or they can't get out.
They just
I
can't
had a
get out.
fire with 18 inches of snow outside. It was hell for the fire department to get to my house and do
Wow.
what they had to do. And our fire departments are voluntary.
Right. So they had to
imagine-
find somebody first.
Well,
Right.
they, you know, the
Pretty much.
Strasbourg Fire Department came, but they
Yeah,
had
no,
to have
but
help.
but I'm saying they had to
find
find
somebody.
somebody
Yes.
because they're volunteers
Yes,
to
yes.
come do that job. You know, what if
Yep.
nobody could get out of their house because they had 18 inches
Exactly.
of snow?
It
you
was
know?
18 inches. Yep.
That's
So
bananas. And Florida's, I don't see how y'all do it in Florida.
I'm gonna tell you that I've been in Florida so many years, and I've gone back and forth, right? So I've been up north and I've gone back to Florida, but the community outreach there compared to here, it's just
tremendously
it's
different.
So different. We are
different.
equal. There's no
Yeah.
blacks, no whites, no Hispanics. No, we are all family.
Because when
Yeah.
you hurt, you hurt
So
the same.
Exactly.
I lived in a subdivision when my children were little, and we would knock out. Everybody came outside. Whoever had a grill was feeding all the kids.
Wow.
Okay,
Look at that.
We made sure that all the kids were fed. We had the grills all out there. I had a grill. My next door neighbor. We didn't even need to talk or be friends. We didn't even know each other. That's what's so beautiful about it. That you don't even need to know your neighbor to be able to help your neighbor.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as long as we had all the kids fed, I mean, people had their food in because those days you take your food out the freezer and you put it in a cooler with ice, right?
Right.
Everybody takes out their coolers and we're out there grilling because one, we're not gonna lose our food,
Right.
so we're gonna eat real well.
Right. So you
And
might
the
as
great
well
thing
cook
about
it.
Florida is that once the hurricane is over, you got a beautiful sunshine. If the pool is open, we get all the kids there, and the families gather together. It didn't matter who was what was where. We helped each other.
So my question is, was that organized just by the community, or was it through the mayor of the?
It was actually through the mayor. Every time we got a hurricane, the mayor was like, okay, you're going to be getting phone calls. Location spots will be set
That's
up
fantastic.
for you guys. You make sure that you get there. And if you can't get there, you let them know. Like the elderly, you let them know, they'll come and deliver it. So they'll just leave all the boxes of water
That's
and everything that you need supplies, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, anything to start cleaning any mold in your house. They were so organized. And I look at that and I come back up north where we are the strongest, right? We're supposed to have the good jobs. We're supposed to have, you know, the bigger communities, the more resources
Oh, in the cities.
in the cities.
Oh,
and
'cause it ain't here.
We don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
Because look at New York. How big
Yeah,
is New
New
York?
York
is
But New York is the
devastated.
strongest state that we have. And this Ida crippled them. Imagine what the next one will do.
Yeah.
Excuse me one second.
That's what's scary.
Kadriana, can you post the phone number to the show? I was asked to ask you.
Awesome. Yes, please call in and share your thoughts with us. One of the sad things that I heard
And then we're gonna
about
move on to the
Florida
next one.
with Ida, with Ida was that there was one gentleman, they reported that he got into an alligator attack.
Yeah. Maybe he might have been on the coast.
Could
You
be.
know, like towards the water.
After the
Like
flooding.
I lived on a beach house. I had a beach house in Hernando County. That's near Tampa, off of Spring Hill, right? And we had a hurricane, and you know, I was like devastated because the water was there. Of course, I lived on the beach, and then I had a pool, and it was just me and the kids by ourselves. But we had to, you know, always make sure we were safe and stuff. And then after the disaster, you come outside, and it looked like a movie, right? Because everything is all over the place. People's cars were destroyed. It was, but even though we were in a disaster, we still came together as a community.
Yeah.
Everybody started cleaning up. Is this yours? Let me help you. Let me do this. Let me take the boarding down. Let me put the boarding up. We still help each other. Where I find like in coming up north, we don't have that support system. Like, there's no support system for natural disasters here. It's either we go through it and we handle it, kind of, sort of, because that's what this
It's
the
like-
government is giving us. Like, you're just gonna handle it. Let me give you a perfect example. Hurricane.
Sandy.
No. No, we had a big oh my God, I forgot her name. I should know this name. it was a really, really bad hurricane. We had a hurricane, and the governor came out and said, whatever food you left, go to this center. They're gonna give you an access card, like a food stamp card, and you're gonna get everything for your family. It didn't matter whether you qualified, if you had a job, it didn't
Right.
matter. He wanted to make sure that you had food.
Wow. That's
So
great.
I don't see that. A lot of these elderly people go through all these disasters and there's no assistance for them. Well, you lost your food, well, I don't know what to say. We get no assistance from the community, as far as making sure that the elderly, the middle class, the lower class, everybody is not taken care of, and we're not coming strong enough to say, hey, let me knock on this neighbor's door and make sure that she's okay.
We don't
Everybody's
even have classes anymore.
Yeah.
There's no.
No.
It's you're
Yeah.
poor or rich.
Exactly, pretty much.
We're
The
all
lower
poor.
class, the higher class.
And I think
We're still class. We're still people. At the end of the day,
That's
it
why
doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't matter.
We're still people, and we still need to come strong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd hit New York real hard.
yeah,
You
and
understand?
that's what makes what we do as an organization, with Everybody Eats, so important, because after this natural disaster, people once again lost their cars, or their homes are flooded out, and they don't have that food anymore that
Yes.
refrigerator was full,
That's
or they don't have electricity and stuff like that, or they don't have clothes because now they done lost everything, and the house is flooded, and everything's gone, and stuff, and so it's gonna be up to us again to reach out to those people and say, hey, if you need help, and we're putting it out there, the Everybody Eats project is available. Even though we're located in Stroudsburg, we do service a wide variety of areas between. We have serviced from New York down to Baltimore, so don't hesitate to call us. Let us know if you need help. Okay, we will do what we can. If we can't get to you, we'll find someone who can. You can reach us on our website. Just send us a message, or you can call us at 570-223-4503. Let us know what you need. If you need food, we can get you food, or we'll give you referrals to where you can go, or we'll get somebody to come to you. But just reach out. Don't suffer in silence. Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay, and we really want you to be okay, and we're willing to do our part to make you okay. But we're gonna move on to our next topic. Okay, and this one's a little juicy too now. So y'all know around the country, everybody's been like, mandate masks, mandate vaccinations, no masks, no vaccinations. Well, I'm going to punch you in the face because you said no vaccinations, or you said vaccinations, so now I'm going to start a fight. And the country has just gone bananas. Seriously, people have lost their minds over their personal feelings about whether you should be vaccinated, not vaccinated, and so on and so forth. And Samantha brought up a interesting point the other day in a conversation we had in regards to the Delta variant. You remember that conversation?
Pretty
All
much.
right. So I'm gonna let you explain what it was you said.
I don't have a good memory. I just lied right on Facebook.
I want her to explain, this point that she had, and I want your feedback, and I want your feedback in the cafe also on what you think. If you agree with her, if you don't.
It's not even agree or not agree.
No.
Because I'm not coming. I don't talk about it from a healthcare person or doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. I just want to know.
She said Indian chief.
I just want people to understand that while everyone is listening to the media, listening to the government, the president, whoever you're listening to, tell you all about what's happening, and no one's questioning anything, I have a problem with that because I question a lot of things. So, with the Delta virus being so strong, people are now back in the hospital. Kids are now in the hospital. They're saying they haven't seen it like this since the beginning. Why are we not shut down again? Why is everything opening back up? But this is so widespread. But they're blaming it on the fact that people are not vaccinated. But yet, more than half of the country's vaccinated. Less are not vaccinated. But the non-vaccinated people is the reason, or are the ones in the hospital right now. But more people are vaccinated, but more people are in the hospital than before that are unvaccinated. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
So I'm confused. Why are you pushing for vaccines, but you're not pushing for medication? Where's the medication that helped Trump when he had it, so-called had it? Where's the
We're
medication
not
that
entitled
helped?
to that. My insurance
Well-
don't cover that.
But it's something that's supposed to help.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying.
I'm saying
my insurance
might not cover it.
is
I understand that.
It's not going to cover.
All
No,
right.
even if I could have the best insurance, but because of who I am, where I live, my insurance is not going to cover that.
Well, okay, so your insurance is not going to cover
Yeah.
it. But where is the government and the media and the scientists speaking on the medications that will help and how they can make it so that it's given?
They're not
to
talking
everybody?
about it.
They're not.
They're not.
But that's my point.
And I agree with you. I think that, sitting there watching Dr. Fauci, and not even knowing really his credentials or his history, because if you really look into his history, I mean, there's a lot of questionable things. And, one way or another, I agree with you. Like, we should be questioning this. We should be questioning, like, why aren't we shut down again if, we do
Things
have
are so bad. Things are
things
so
are so
bad.
rapid numbers of cases just growing, and
growing and growing.
more people hospitalized. I see even death. There's
The death rate is high.
Yes, it is.
That's what they're
So-
reporting. And when the virus first came out as COVID-19, not even Delta, they didn't shut down right away. It took a while. It took people to die, and many, many people to die, and then it shut down. But now we're open again with a new variant that's worse than the first one, and we're not shut
people
down.
are dying.
And people are
And
dying.
they're saying people are dying.
The football
And
stadiums
Children
are
are getting
open
it.
to full capacity. Now,
Absolutely. You
now,
can go to the movie theater. You can sit in the
but
restaurant
now you
without
can.
masks.
But now what they want to do is say, but you, who's unvaccinated,
You
can't
come
do
in.
it.
That's correct.
yeah.
You can't do it. But everybody else who gets the vaccine, because that's how we're saving the world. But yet, you've got country after country after country still coming back and forth to the United States. Everybody's just free to do whatever they want to do. Mask maybe, mask not maybe. Nah, it's my right. It's my this. You're infringing on me. You're infringing on my kids. The mask is really the only thing that you have as protection, in my opinion.
Barrier.
correct.
It's just a form of protection. It's not to say you're not going to get anything,
Right.
but it is a form of protection. So, in my opinion, that is, or should be, or could be
The
mandated.
conversation.
It could be mandated. Masks when you're indoors. Masks at school. It is what it is. Teach your children how to follow certain rules. You got to wear the mask, baby. Sorry. We got to wear the mask, And it's not that easy. I'm saying it easy. It's not easy. I understand that. But
I think they're used to it.
that's
Kids
the
are so
only
resilient.
thing that I think should be mandated.
So
You can't mandate me, or you can, but to take a vaccine.
I just think that when we had the COVID-19 and they made a big thing about vaccinations, right? So now we go get vaccinated, right? We're supposed to be totally protected, right? That's what they said. Once
Only
you get vaccinated,
protected from being hospitalized,
Hospitalized.
supposedly.
right. So now we're protected. Now we came out with this Delta variants, right? Now we got to get a booster. So my question is,
How many boosters?
how many boosters is it going to take
Get
to
to
be
the-
a light
totally
bulb.
protected
And we had a
on,
show.
on my life, because now you're talking about my life, right? Because
Right.
Yeah.
at the end of
Right.
the day, this is what it really
Right.
is. It's a
And
life
how it
or death
affects you and
situation.
all this stuff that you're putting
So
into
now
your
you've
body.
decided, okay, we don't need masks. Well, guess what? I'm still gonna wear my mask because at the end of the day, I don't feel anybody has the right to tell me about my life. I still want to live. So I'm gonna do whatever it is that's gonna protect me, my grandchildren, my mother, my elderly, so that I'm not walking around infecting other people, right? So you have a host. There's always a host. Okay. And I don't see where the Delta variant's booster to stop the corona
Was making a
is,
big
is
difference.
making a big difference because we're still losing a lot of lives.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just read a comment that came in from the cafe. And it says, I have to disagree. There are so many chances to get the vaccine and people are choosing not to. The Delta is stronger than the original, so they're therefore causing more cases. Many places like Walgreens every day have to throw away vaccines because people are choosing not to get it. So I agree with that, and then I kind of disagree with that. All right, I agree with it as in, yes, it is available.
Everywhere.
It is available everywhere, but if you continuously watch the news, there's always a micro snippet because they don't cover how it's faulty as intense as it's supposed to be effective.
Right.
So there's always a micro snippet about something that might have gone wrong or something that's not working. Okay? Or how this particular one is not as effective as the other one. So you have breakthrough cases, which I find to be hilarious that we're not talking about the breakthrough cases like we're talking about these so-called cases that are happening for people who are not vaccinated. And the truth is, there are a lot of people who are not vaccinated who are not sick.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? And there are people who are vaccinated who are sick.
Now, before you go on, with saying that these vaccines are available and people are not taking them and they're throwing them away, the same person made the statement that the flu vaccine is given every year for the prior year's flu virus. You're not given the flu vaccine for the current
year.
flu.
You can't.
So, again, that's my point. You're telling me to go take a vaccine, but we have a new virus out, and I'm supposed to be protected from the old virus with this vaccine, but there's a new virus out that's killing everybody.
But the argument is not that it protects you from the virus. Is only supposed to minimize the effects
If you get it.
If you
Right.
get it, which is not necessarily true because you know what. Viruses affect people differently. If you get the flu, you get the flu, I get the flu, you get the flu.
We're all gonna have
Okay,
different symptoms.
we're all going to have different symptoms. We're going to all have different variations of it.
Correct.
I may get it a little bit worse than you got it, and all like that. We all can have flu shots. Okay? The other thing, too, I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's all a matter of if your body accepts it and how it reacts to it. If it was administered properly, okay, and in the time frame it was supposed to be, which one you got, because they're
That's a
all
big
not
one.
made the same.
That's correct.
Okay? And also, just the simple fact that some people have natural tendencies not to be reactive to certain things. So,
With all that being said, people should have the choice whether they want the vaccine or not, because we are the only ones who know our bodies. Just like our next topic, if we get to it, but that was
Okay.
crazy.
So, okay. And then the response just now, the breakthrough cases will happen. It is just like getting the flu shot. You can still get the flu. The vaccine is just a precaution. It is. It is just a precaution, but
And it's a
again,
choice.
It's a choice.
right?
also.
It should remain a
And the
choice.
truth of the matter
Right.
is, I haven't had a flu shot in 6 years. And I don't take a flu shot. You know why? Because they always say you can't get sick from the flu shot. Well, I, being a nurse, was given the flu shot. Okay, I gave it every year to people, and for the 3 years that I took a flu shot, I was sick. The very
Wow.
last year I took the flu shot, my jaw, okay, shut, and I could not open my jaw. And this was after taking the flu shot. You understand what I'm saying? So after that, I was like, I'm good. I am
And
not
that's
doing
healthy.
this again.
I'm going to be very honest on this table.
Uh-huh.
I've never taken a flu shot.
That's
Have
what
you
I'm
al-
saying.
have you worked in healthcare?
Never worked in healthcare,
Okay.
but never took the flu shot. Let me tell you why. If I'm sick, let it all come out in front of me. I don't need anybody to vaccinate me on it. It's not going to come out. It's a bacteria. It's a flu. It's got to come out naturally. I have never taken the flu shot in my life.
See, and here's a good. Oh wow! All right, so it is a choice, but like any choice we make, we have to understand the consequences that come with it. Exactly. But when they're mandating that you have to have the injection in order to live a normal life, or live life
Or travel.
out loud, or shop, or
travel.
eat, or travel, and all like that, then you're not giving me a choice of what to do with my body. What
Now
you're
they're
saying is you can't live your life unless you do this.
And we're going to have to make a decision when you come to the hospital
There you
whether
go.
we can treat you effectively or not. What kind of craziness is that?
Yeah.
You are supposed to be treated the same and fair
Regardless.
whatever sickness you
Regardless.
have,
That is
regardless.
correct.
So don't tell me because I come to the hospital and I'm not vaccinated, I deserve to die. I deserve to go sit in the corner and think about what I didn't do. Or you may just throw me on a respirator and I may not need to be on a respirator. What's going on right now?
Or how about the simple fact that I might just have underlying conditions in which if I take the vaccination, it may do something to me that might actually kill me.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. I should be allowed to say, yes, I want to take it, or no, I don't want to take that chance.
And
you know,
we should finally stop being told that unvaccinated people are a problem. We need to be stopped. We
I
need
feel
to
like
stop being
I'm
told
hearing that a lot from healthcare professionals too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, lots of doctors are coming out and speaking, and
But sometimes they're told to do that. They're told
yeah.
to say that.
yeah,
It's-
and
it's
they're
all-
told to
it's-
write COVID on the death certificate,
Yes,
even
yeah.
if you had a heart attack. I've
Right.
heard many cases, and I have quite a few doctors in my family that have attested to that, where they
Right.
said, you know, even though the patient didn't die of COVID, we wrote COVID as, or we were told
Yeah.
to write COVID
That's
as the
just
cause.
like when AIDS was an
So
epidemic.
statistics.
They wrote AIDS as well, even if the person had something else and died
Yeah.
of something else. So
Statistics, it's numbers,
It's
it's fear.
numbers.
It's all exactly what it is. We're
Yeah.
numbers. This is a numbers game.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take this last question, and then we're gonna go on to our next topic. So one of our guests in the cafe said, "Well, is it fair that your choice to not get vaccinated put children in danger who are not able to get vaccinated?"
No.
I mean,
What do you mean it's not
I
fair?
don't think anyone who doesn't get vaccinated is choosing not to get vaccinated so they can spread COVID to people
To
intentionally.
kids.
Or, you
To
know,
kids.
or to kids.
I got
you know,
kids. I got grandkids. I have all of that. The ones that are underage can't get vaccinated. And we have all chosen right now not to be vaccinated. And no one has had COVID, thank God. Not saying we can't get it. But we're not trying to infect our families. Like, we're not doing that. And that's not what anybody's doing when you're not vaccinated. You're trying to make somebody else sick. Or what if you get them sick? What if a vaccinated person gets me sick? What if a vaccinated person who does not know that they have COVID because they can't feel the symptoms because they're vaccinated, spreads it to me.
And that's the same thing I say, because the vaccination doesn't make you immune to it. It
Yeah.
just means
It
that if you
lessens
get
your-
sick,
yeah.
and that's if that even happens. That's if that even happens. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, that's
That
a
was our
debate.
take on it.
That right.
Yeah,
That's
a
going to
big
be a
we can-
debate
Yes.
that's going to constantly be back and forth, because
And Facebook
you know
will
when
shut you down.
when you have
Talking about
when
it.
you have a minority trying to make decisions for the lives of the majority, you're always going to get that pushback, you know, on, listen, who are you to tell me what to do with my life? You don't know me from Joe Schmo or Amy Lou or Jackie Chan. You don't know me.
Right.
You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about my health. You don't know none of that. So for you to tell me I have to do something, okay, just because the masses, just because the masses,
Because you convince
okay,
the masses.
right, or you convince the masses that this is what needs to be done.
So one
It
person,
still is.
one
Uh-huh.
person in healthcare says, "I'm in healthcare, and my staff has to decide if they are going to take the vaccine. If they don't get the shot, then they are being fired, unless you have a religious or health exception. It is a very sad situation."
That's true.
It
That
is- it is sad.
Because
It
we
is
need
sad.
them. In case anybody didn't realize, but we need those healthcare.
No, we need them. But here's the other thing too.
And she's a healthcare office worker. She's not even a healthcare
Nurse or,
nurse or
yeah.
doctor.
Yeah, that's. I think that they've taken this COVID and controlling our mental mind, because it is mentally, because you're sitting there like, oh my God,
Should
what
I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not?
do it? Let me give you a perfect example. Four of my family members took the COVID shot, and I refused to take it. And I was debating it, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, okay, I'm gonna take it, just for safety of me. I wasn't around anybody. I work from home, so I really didn't see anyone. Well, one family occasion, 8 of my family members got COVID on one family occasion, including my children. We kept telling them, stay away from here, stay away from there, stay away from here. 4 of 8 of my family members got COVID. Now they had to stay away from the people that were vaccinated. Okay? One of them happened to be one of my sons. And he was living in my household with me. I was vaccinated. And to have him in a room, isolated for 14 days. And we did it.
But that's hilarious. And I'm going to tell you why it's hilarious. You were vaccinated.
Yep.
Your son got COVID.
Yep.
But the vaccination is supposed to help protect you. So why do you have to stay away from him? If anything, he's the one more at jeopardy, because even though you're vaccinated, you can still be a carrier and give it to him and be more dangerous to him. That's what people are not, like, they switch it,
Right.
and it's sort of like, oh no, you're not vaccinated, so you're a danger to me because I'm vaccinated. No,
We
it's
kinda-
it's the other way
We kind
around.
of treated it like it was just a normal thing. He was sick. I didn't treat him any different. He was already miserable. He had to spend 14 days at home. That was like,
But was he vaccinated as well or no?
No.
He was not. Okay. But he
the
got
8 people that got COVID were not vaccinated.
Okay.
The 5 people that were vaccinated never got COVID.
Okay.
Okay? We took care of the elderly in the family, which happens to be my mom. My sister, who has health issues, got vaccinated because she's a veteran, right? So we took care of, like, the majority of the people. Of course, our little ones are the ones I feel is my biggest pet peeve. I'm my
Because
like,
there is no protection for
right.
them.
That's where
Except
my
the
big
mask.
thing is.
Right.
Except the mask. But it doesn't matter. If you have a child that puts his hands in his mouth
Yes.
and touches everything,
Everything.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't, honestly, I'm an adult already. I've already lived my life. My thing is why we're not protecting our children.
Right.
And that's where
Right.
about everything, about all of this comes down to. That's our next generation.
It's a
Why
mask.
are we not concerned about our
Why
next
are we
generation?
fighting
I,
about the
I don't
mask?
understand.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are fighting about putting a mask on the kids.
Absolutely.
It's nothing. It's nothing invasive. It's nothing internal. You know what I'm saying? It's only a barrier to keep another child who might be sick, coughing in their face and possibly giving them the, so okay. But talking about decisions. Decisions. And I'm going to apologize because we may run over just about 5 minutes on this. So sorry. But I got to get it out. Who the hell does Texas think they are to tell me I can't get an abortion if I live in Texas?
I'm just baffled at that. I think
Past 6 weeks, don't.
Okay, so from a
6
medical
weeks.
standpoint, you can't have an abortion before 6 weeks.
That's
Exactly.
true.
That's what I didn't
Exactly.
understand.
You can't have an
Yeah.
abortion before
Understand
6
that.
weeks.
That's correct.
That's right.
They're
That is
playing.
correct.
So-
They're playing with words.
Exactly. That's literally what it is. It's a play on words
By
And
men.
By
Can't
men.
get pregnant.
who don't have uterus. Where's your uterus, man?
Somebody
Where's your
show
uterus?
me. Somebody
Show
show
me.
me. Somebody show me.
Where's their menstruation? Where's that?
And I
For
find
them
it.
to know when you don't have it and how late it could be and how late it should
And
be.
how your
and
back goes out, you're in cramps, you're ready to tear the
No,
place
but just
apart.
being pregnant.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when you miss your period, they don't know.
But
No.
how about just the simple fact that as a woman, we could talk about a number of circumstances why I ended up pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can talk
Unfortunate.
about the fact that maybe I had too many drinks, and no, I don't do this. Okay, but why? I could have had too many drinks and just was frivolous with my body and had unprotected sex. Okay, or I could have been, raped.
I don't want
Okay.
to say that because I
No.
know that that's a very touchy subject to a lot of people out there. But
I
at
s-
the end of the day, we got one thing to always remember: this is our body,
Yeah,
and what we do with our body should be our decision, not have somebody make a decision for us to say, well, guess what, you're got to stay, stick with this kid no matter what, through thick and thin or whatever. It should give us the opportunity to make that decision about us with each circumstances.
And I agree. Okay, I also agree that you have to look a little bit further than just that pregnancy.
That's correct.
Okay, because here it is now. Let's build the scenario. Okay, young lady is in a domestic violence situation. Okay,
Happens every day.
she's being raped not by some stranger. Okay, by her husband. You know what I'm saying? And now she has to be obligated to have this child. Okay? But she doesn't want this child, okay? And because she can't have this abortion, okay, as a result of this domestic violence situation, she now, one of two things. She either becomes a runaway and now tries to go to another state to have it, okay, which could be very costly because they're not going to accept her insurance and she's going to have to pay cash. And I think the going rate right now for an abortion is anywhere between $4,000 and $1,000.
400 and 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, give or take, because the further you are,
The more it costs.
the more it costs.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're talking about now a financial expense to get where she's going to have this abortion and then also to pay for that. Okay? And then we have to think about the fact that if she can't afford to do that, all right, she may try to do it herself, which now
Yeah, that's
ends up
scary.
skyrocketing more medical bills because I don't know about anyone else. I personally saw what it looked like when they removed a fetus that was jabbed with a coat hanger
Yeah.
and what her uterus looked like. Okay? Because she tried to get that pregnancy out because she was told she could not have an abortion.
Huh.
I've seen that. And it's something you never forget.
Absolutely.
It's something you never forget.
Right.
You understand? But let's talk about the babies that do live. okay? The ones that live and get left to the welfare system and to,
Foster
the
care.
foster care and stuff. And now possibly abused, never adopted. The country and the government is complaining about how too many of these kids are, being left and they have to take care of them and we don't have the money for it and this, that, and the other. But when you make mandates like, no, you cannot have an abortion, that's what you're saying. You're saying, you can't have an abortion. I'm going to take care of that baby, but I'm going to get on your case for having this baby, because if you can't take care of the baby, you shouldn't have the baby, but you just told me I couldn't have an abortion.
But I want to know, what's the issue?
Yeah.
What is their issue?
Texas? I
with
don't know where they
abortion?
came out of.
Like,
they came
why
out the
are you
woodworks
really
on this.
mixing religion and state? Are you really mixing, because it doesn't have to come down to any religious circumstance.
No.
When you've got priests raping boys and girls, and how can it be religious when you've got pastors doing stuff to children, and it's all over the world. They let it be known.
Let me say this. So apparently, if you get an abortion after 6 weeks, they are considering going for the death penalty. So Texas lawmakers are considering the death penalty for abortion. So tell me how that makes sense, please.
So you'll kill me for not putting myself in a situation where I cannot take care of this child and give it its best life. Okay? But you have people who are walking away from murdering 9 people, shot 9 people in a church, who was minding their business, praying.
Wait, but he got Burger King.
Okay, and he got Burger King. Burger King.
On
Okay,
his way.
and we still don't know what happened to him because I haven't heard nothing about him.
He probably walking around.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
But they're going to
So-
kill us for having a child, bringing a child into
the
this
world that we can't take care of or
God
don't.
forbid
And then,
we can't take care
and
of
then
it.
chastise us when we need to go get services that we're paying taxes into.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
So you'll take my money, okay? You'll take majority of my paycheck. Pay me next to nothing. Tell me I have to take care of my family on next to nothing. Mandate me to keep children that I don't want to have, okay? And then turn around and go, you're a lowlife. You're making the country's economy go down.
Right.
You're the reason why this doesn't work out.
Just as an example, too, my pregnancy with my son, at around 6 weeks, I was bleeding. So I didn't even know I was pregnant, but I was told, go check because you shouldn't be just spotting like that. You're too young. So what they did was they did a sonogram. The sonogram saw the sac, but no fetus. So what I was told was it's probably going to abort itself. It might not supposed to be there.
Right.
Your body's rejecting the pregnancy. So I needed to wait 10 days. Now what? Now I'm past 6 weeks, and let's say I thought maybe I shouldn't have the baby because something could be wrong with it. It wasn't viable when it was supposed to be. Whatever I would have thought. But now I'm in trouble if I need to make that decision, because if I lived in Texas, Texas is saying you can't do it after 6 weeks. But I had my son and everything's good. But I'm just saying situations like that happen to women that men have no clue about.
I think old men need to stop sitting around worrying about what's going on with women's bodies.
And young women, because that's
Okay.
why they can have babies.
Yes. I
Old
think-
women can't have babies.
Exactly.
We can't have babies.
You
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
Right.
oh,
Stop
not me.
worrying. Stop worrying about. Stop worrying about women's bodies. Worry about your own prostate issues.
Which we worry about as well. 'Cause
Exactly.
we,
You understand what I'm saying? And stop creating circumstances for us that are making it almost totally, making it totally hard for us to just be ourselves. Like, let me live.
Yeah, someone
That's
said
it. Let me live. Stop telling me what I got to put in my body. Stop telling me what I got to dress, how I got to dress, how to do my hair, what I should wear, what I should smell like, who I should date, how much money I should make. You know what I'm saying? Stop telling me what Cherise or Aisha, somebody, you see, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be hyper, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hot right now because Texas got on my nerves, But
I was told that
I
the
don't-
boy that you guys were talking about, that he's in jail, he's not walking around. Well, that was a figure of
Good,
speech
but
that
you
I
know
was
what he
talking
should
about,
be?
because some of them do be walking around.
he shouldn't be necessarily in jail. He murdered 9 people. Okay, if anybody, and I'm not one for taking anyone's life. Okay, but he murdered 9 people for no reason, just because of the color of their skin. And anybody who wants to sit and argue and say he didn't shoot them because they're black, you're a fool.
Yeah,
You're a fool.
he was trying to start something, and you know it.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if anybody should be up for the death penalty, it should be him. But that's another show. I'm just simply saying, stop trying to tell me what I need to do with my body and how I should increase my family or not increase my family or something like that. Because at the end of the day, Texas, you're not taking care of my kids.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? They're not babysitting. They're not buying formula, which is very expensive. Okay? They're not breastfeeding.
And they probably don't put people on welfare as easy. You have these kids now, help me take care of them. You don't qualify. Well, now what? Now what? Somebody said it's a form of racism against women, and it's going back to the days when women couldn't vote. And yes,
such
I
a
believe
valid
that
point.
wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
And I believe that
good
they are
points.
trying to take away voting rights for women.
Yep.
And that's another show.
And we
Yeah, definitely another show.
And sadly, they're trying to revert back to the days where we as women become second class citizens. Yes.
Silent.
Barefoot,
They
pregnant,
keep-
seen,
right,
not
just,
heard.
The husband, we don't even have men that go to work and take care of the women anymore. That's been a long time. Women are the bigger boss at this current time.
That's true.
They're trying to bring us back to the Stone Ages where we were just home cooking, taking care of the children.
And Flintstones is
And
gonna
that-
be dragging me around by my ponytail.
There you go. But we're not that. We're not in there. And we got
I
a
took
lot of
mine
strong
out.
women. We got a lot of
Dragging
strong
me
women.
by mine.
If we have a vice president as a woman, that goes to show that we have impacted. And they're not going to keep us down this quiet. We're not going to stay down.
No,
like this.
I mean,
absolutely not.
it's a
Women
different-
are strong. We're not going to stay silent, and we're resilient. That's
Yeah.
just who we are.
Oh, okay. So someone in the cafe said it will even the score for them. Less women votes, more votes to put people like Trump in office.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was a little confused on that. Okay. It
The-
will even the vote.
The only point that I wanted to rock the boat a little bit. And I told you I didn't want to do it, but then I'm gonna do it. So
Go for it. You got.
I'm gonna
You
rock
got
the boat.
3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes. So I was reading a survey they took. This was actually in the state of Florida, and Florida apparently records every abortion and the reason for every abortion. And they had about over 70,000 in the year 2018, and they recorded that 0.1%. Okay, pregnancy resulted from an incestuous relationship. 0.14% was because the woman was raped. 0.27%. The woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. 1%. There was a serious fetal abnormality. 1.5%. Women's physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. 1.67%. Let's just say 2%. I'm going to round it off. Women's psychological health was threatened by the pregnancy. 20% women aborted for social and economical reasons, and then 75% because they were drunk.
Drugged? Or
Drunk.
Drunk.
Like, you
Oh,
know, just
drunk sex.
yeah.
Or-
Well, just
sex,
kind of
like-
reckless. Kind of reckless
reckless.
sex.
Okay.
Even so, I'm sorry. In my book, if you're getting pregnant constantly because you drinking and you're making bad decisions, then
You
that's
messing up
even
your
more.
body.
And that's
That's
even
your
more of
thing.
a reason why you shouldn't be running around having children. Because then, what kind of parent is that gonna make you?
But not
You know
only
what I'm
that,
saying?
doing that to your body,
Hello.
healthcare will advise you what it's doing to you
Right.
and what it could do to you. And again, it's your choice. It's your choice.
Yeah.
So if you choosing to get drunk and get freaky, it's your choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree.
it's
As
just
a
a
woman,
safe
I
way.
agree,
It's
but
just a safe way.
I personally am going to rock the boat just a little bit more, okay? I personally believe there is a spiritual aspect to it too because, I do believe that that's a life, okay? I do believe that, God is the one who provides the soul in the body and to abort it, I am against that. That's my personal take. However, at 6 weeks, it really isn't anything but a clot. You know what I mean?
That's
So
how it comes out when it's
Right.
when it's
it's
when
forming. The
naturally
formation is.
aborting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right,
When it's
exactly.
naturally
When you're having
aborting,
a
it comes
miscarriage.
out a miscarriage.
That's exactly
Yes.
what it is.
I think that there are illegal places in the country that abort full on babies and
Oh,
such.
yeah.
So I mean, abortion is a very big topic,
Hospitals.
and I'm just talking about my personal view, and I'm sure that there are thousands of women who agree with me. As much as I am for women's rights, I also believe that's a soul God gave, and my stance on it is that even though I believe that everyone has a right to live and make decisions, I personally don't think that is a good decision,
And
But is the
that's not-
soul given to the child in utero or after it is in the world?
Well, in my
I'm
religion,
not as a topic. I'm just
When-
want to be clear when
right.
you say God gave
blew the soul,
Yeah.
blows the soul. So what in my beliefs, it's when you can start detecting the heartbeat. That's around 12 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is one of those conversations that we could go
all
with
night.
over and
Yes.
over and over again. And there is no right or wrong. Your opinion isn't right or wrong. It's what you believe. Your opinion isn't right or wrong. It's what you believe, and it's what you believe, and it's what I believe. And all of our opinions are personal.
Yes.
It's your personal belief. It's your personal experience. And it's your personal life. Texas, mind your business. Mind your business. Stay up out of mine. Mind your business. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight in the cafe. We are so happy that you engaged with us. We love hearing from you, and we look forward to the next time, we're here for the show. Make sure to, tell us what you think. Keep the conversation going. Hit us up after the show. Put your comments online. We'll respond to you, And at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your decision. It's your body. Do what you think is right, regardless of what the government says. You guys have a good night.